Good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with KetoSimple. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday, Sunday with me. Thank you all so much for clicking on the video, being here early, chatting amongst yourselves. It is a day of celebration, a day to welcome back Bucky Beaver, because I had lost him last week and I was distraught. Distraught's probably a strong word, but you know how it is. Anyway, hold your coffees up high unless you're Cindy, and then have your Diet Pepsi or cup of sadness or whatever it is that you're going to drink today, and enjoy. Here's to you. I do love coffee so very much. But anyway, really, Cindy, if you're here yet, I love you so very much, and I like to pick on you, but it's because I do care. You and that guinea pig. Anyway, everybody's here so far. Let's see. We've got Evelyn. She says, hello, friends. John Gugahan is here. He is talking about getting his morning started with a pot of French roast, 1 cinnamon toasted almond pod, a cinnamon bun power creamer, ghee, some cream, and a bit of nut pod coffee cake creamer. Coffee cake creamer. You sound like a mad scientist, John. You're in there just with your cauldron, just stirring. Yes. Anyway, mixing up a batch of John Gugahan brew. Look at that. Milady Laugh-A-Lot is here. Good morning, Andy. I imagine Susan's probably not awake yet. But anyway, good morning to you as well, Susan. Oh, let's see. Andy's talking about uploading a zipline video and the full to go. They went ziplining on the cruise ship with 2KK a couple of weeks ago, and they uploaded that video. It goes live today at 10 a.m. So if you were not subscribed over at Milady Laugh-A-Lot, be sure to do so. Because I asked you nicely. And she's fun. She's good people. And Andy says, I finally get to have Christmas with my family today. Grandbaby gets to open presents at our house later on. That's awesome. Christmas time is here. Oh, Cindy, you are here. Yay! Evelyn says, Bucky's back. You're going to be in trouble. Ah la la la, Bucky's back. I love it. Mr. Bradley's in the house this morning from Orlando, Florida. Florida man himself in the house. Good morning. Woo! Andy says, I get baby snuggles today, and I'll be chasing her around the house. She loves our stairs and lives to check everything out upstairs. Well, that's what, if you don't want them to see it, that's exactly what they're going to find. Brian Doyle is in the house. Good morning, my friend. Let's see. Andy says, yay for live stream. She sings it just like that. I've heard her. It's in her diary. I read it. Anyway, Mr. Gugahan says, I got crazy glue all over my fingers this morning. That's not what you're supposed to do with those. I don't have any acetone, but I read that you can soak in warm soapy water to get it off. So far, it's been around half hour, and I'm starting to peel. Oh, let's see. Hour, and if it start, oh, let's see. So far, it's been about a half hour, and it is starting to peel. That's good, I think. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Low carb spin. Karen is in the house. Good morning. And he says, I now see the appeal of doing this every week. It is just one of those things. Like, you get the chance to see your friends and talk to them. I mean, the conversation is kind of one sided, but it's a lot of fun just to hang out with you guys. It's the highlight of my week. John says, off a little bit. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Let's see. Oh, Shell's there. Well, good morning, Shell. Jeff Fafa is here. Good morning, Jeff Fafa. Good morning from below freezing in Foley, Alabama. Woo! Foley, it's been really, really freezing here. Yes. I actually had to break down and have somebody help me with our driveway yesterday because it was so much ice. It would have taken me hours and hours and hours, but luckily there was a neighbor from around the corner was driving their van around, and they were taking care of our neighbors, our across the street neighbors' driveway with their snow removal machine thing, their snow eater or whatever it was, snow blower. And I was like, "How much do you charge to use that thing?" And they were like, $15. I'm like, "That's a solid deal. Let's do it." Got my driveway done in about an hour and a half, and I helped break up the ice and all that stuff. It was like thick ice too. But now the driveway's clear, extra coated in salt, so we're good. No getting stuck on our driveway today, at least. We'll see how it's going to go when we get the next snowstorm, anyway. Ah. Cindy says, Dustin, I've had enough sadness. Alani for me. Alani's been on sale at Costco. They were like $15 or $16 for their 18 pack or something like that. So that was pretty cool. We got like a bunch of those and they're in the garage. But Chandra only likes like the Christmas flavor and the blue flavor. And then there's like a cherry slush she's not a fan of. But you know how it goes. You know how it goes. Barbara Castor is in the house. Good morning, Barbara. Good Sunday morning, first live. Welcome to you. Thank you so much. I raised Bucky Beaver to you, and we're gonna have some coffee. Welcome back, Bucky. Welcome to Barbara Castor. Keep wanting to say Carter, but it's Barbara Castor, not Carter. Mm. Oh, so good. My coffee is 3 teaspoons of espresso powder, instant espresso powder, and 5 shots of espresso. So 8 shots of espresso, ladies and gentlemen, right here. I also have this ice water. This is just plain ice water in a Batman blender bottle, and I'm gonna have some cherry chill in there. I might as well go ahead and put that in there right now so I don't forget. That way it can be marinating, you know what I mean? Marinating, getting all delicious. Because I can feel that I'm a little thirsty today, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I can get this up in here and not make a mess. And if you want to get some salty for yourself, KetoSimple.shop, you can find links to get salty and Keto Chow. Same link. 10% off your order. I think it's 10% off for you. I think. Yes, 10% off for you. Anytime you order, all the time. Not just once, but all of them. You can set yourself up for subscriptions and all that stuff. Cherry chill right in there. It's not red. It's clear. Cherry chill. My new favorite flavor. I mean, outside of the clean slate. Clean slate's gonna be the GOAT, but because, you know, it's good. Good thing that the salty mixes up pretty good, so that'll be fine. Andy says from her live stream yesterday, guinea pig, Brian Demanchi. I know it's not Demanchi, but it's fun. It's fun to say Demanchi. But anyway, she said guinea pig won the keto brains yesterday. Well, congratulations, Brian. Yes. People are talking about stuff. I'm guessing this is her telling me that Susan is asleep. I'd be asleep if I didn't have this to do. Let's see. Ooh, did I miss Maritza? Maritza's here? Where's Maritza? I thought that. There we go. Maritza's here. Good morning, Maritza. From Las Vegas. Good morning, she says to Evelyn, Cindy, Andy, John, and of course, moi. My name's Dustin, by the way, if you are new here. Yes. Guinea pig, guinea pig, guinea pig. People saying good morning. Big Belly Bob is in the house, my friend. How are you doing, good sir? Haven't seen you in a while. You doing okay? I hope you're doing good, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Quack, quack. Rick is in the house. Good morning, Rick. How are your ducks doing? Oh, they're just digesting. Rick was live yesterday for a little bit. I dropped in and said hello. Actually, I said quack, quack. Oh, let's see. Maritza says my cats wanted to make sure I was up and was up for the podcast. Got me up at 3:45. Good night. Oh, let's see. Sean says we had a meetup yesterday with the Central Florida Ketos. We got to meet Matt and Sarah. Oh my goodness. And we got to meet Nancy Tanner. Fantastic. I love it. I think I am trying to decide. Let me go ahead and bring this up here. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up, boys and girls. Trying to decide. I think I want to go to this. We'll see how I feel. I got to go to the gram of Instas. Yeah, I can see you. All right, let me go ahead here. Let me go to Amanda Decker. Let me go ahead and let me share my screen so you can see this as well. Okay, if you can see here, Amanda Decker is having a live event. Join us for a live Q&A, Dixon County Building, Dixon, Tennessee, Tuesday, January 28th at 6 p.m. Clear Path Medical, Dr. Barry, Nisha, the whole thing. I'm trying to think if I can get myself down there. I need to check with Chris and see if he wants to do like a collaboration. So my time driving there and back is driving there and back. And he and I can film some content, maybe do a live or something, because it'll be a Tuesday. So Shannon and I won't be able to go live that Tuesday. Maybe he and I could go live, or I can be involved in their. Well, he wouldn't be able. I wouldn't be on his live for the cooking live, but maybe we could do something after, or they could change that. I don't know. I have to talk to him and see. But that would be kind of fun. I mean, it's a 6 hour. This is a 6 hour drive, so it would be me driving basically an hour farther than where Chris and Ash are. Then I can hang out with them, and then I could drive back the next day, or something like that. We can figure that out. You know, I just gonna see. I don't know if anybody else is in that area. Anybody else wants to join up, meet up? You would be a good way to meet me, Dr. Barry, Nisha, Amanda Decker. Amanda Decker is always a sweet, sweet girl. I've met her a few times at her Low Carb for Better Health 23, and she was also at KPL 24. So always a lot of fun. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Let's see. Matt Franklin's in the house. Good morning, Matt Franklin. Disney magic from my friend Matt Franklin. Let's see. We have a new member. Let me get to that here. Barbara Castor's a new member. Thank you so very much. I guess I'm glad that I slacked and didn't update the memberships from yesterday, or the memberships from this week on the into the in credits. So then I can add you after the fact, and then you'll be in next week's credits. You'll be in Tuesday's credits on our Tuesday live. But yeah, so that's kind of one of those unspoken perks here that we have. If you are a member, or if you donate memberships, I put you in the credits. So that I do appreciate. I do got to make sure that I get all those in there. I do need to update that because last week my good friend Bruce donated 10 memberships, and that's amazingly appreciated. So with all that being said, let's see what else is going on here. Ellie's in the house. Good morning, Ellie. Thank you for being here. Nourishment Redacted. If you haven't followed her channel, do so. She's got a great channel, really informative. Let's see. Rick says, I may be the only one who does a live and drinks nothing. Well, that's your fault. You can get a glass of water, my boy. I mean, you know. Let's see. Gotta have coffee. I'm I'm a half a pot in already. I like the way you think, Barbara. I think we're gonna be just good friends. I like that. Now I have the cleanest fingers in the state of Florida. I don't think that's very hard to do. Woo, gross. Oh, let's see. Maritza says, oh, now I have the salty packs and love them. Haven't picked a favorite flavor yet. Oh, wow. It's one of those things. I like the new lemon lime flavor. I did not like the original lime flavor. It just had a funky flavor to me, and we even talked about it on our live. I didn't like it very much. You know. Oh, now Susan's awake because Luna wanted out. Well, good morning, Susan. Rise and shine, sleepyhead. Oh, yes. Please and thank you so very much. Everyone thumbs up the video. I appreciate that, Ellie. Sean says, good thing Cindy didn't win Keto Brains unless you put it in something other than coffee. Quack, quack. Yes, this is my Darkwing Duck. I got him in one of those little surprise pouches you get. It was on clearance at a grocery store, and I picked it up. I was like, I hope I get Darkwing Duck. Took it home, opened it, and what do you know? I got Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous. I tried to show it to the granddaughter. She wasn't interested, but I love it. We got quack, quack, and now we got squeak, squeak. Oh, my goodness. Rick goes quack, quack, and then here, Mr. Guinea Pig goes squeak, squeak. Brian, everybody. Good morning, my friend. Becky's here. Good morning. Oh, let's see. Cindy says to Sean, I would have had just given it to Brian. I have to do a giveaway still as well. Been trying to figure out what to give away and how many to do. Maybe we can brainstorm that later, Cindy. I don't know. You guys can make the things you give away. You can give away cutting boards and do customizations and You can give away KetoSimple cutting boards. Yes. But for real though, you guys can do coaster giveaways. You can do like keychain earring giveaways. I love all of you people in here. Let's see. People saying welcome to Barbara. Patricia is here. Patricia Hoffman. Hello, all. Grandma from cold South Carolina. I'm a grandpa in freezing cold central Indiana. Welcome, Patricia Hoffman. Thank you so much for being here. I love our community. It's such a great little community. Let's see. Evelyn, Rick, read a book about iguanas with my third. I read a book about my. I can talk, I promise. Rick, I read a book about iguanas to my third and fifth grade class. It talked about them being invasive and how they taste good. I didn't realize how huge they got. No wonder you eat them. And you got to watch out because they'll fall from a tree and hurt you real bad. They'll get into a tree. The weather will get cold. They'll freeze and then fall out of the tree. Oh, let's see. Sean's asking Patricia if she's in one of those areas that got all the snow the other day. Let's see. Cindy, he's already a month old. Such a cutie. Can't wait to see him. How is your grandbaby? Oh, I love all the grandmas and grandbabies and little squishies. That's what you should do, Rick. You should be giving away iguana jerky, iguana-tailed jerky. Because you can make it. Just capture a couple of them, be like, here, iguana. I don't know, like, is there an iguana called? Like, whatever, And then, yeah, iguana jerky. I'd be totally into that. Sandy's like, no thanks. She's the most unadventurous person I've ever seen. Won't try anything. Doesn't even like coffee. How rude. Patricia's saying, not giving up cream in my coffee. Anyone else have that problem? I don't consider cream in my coffee a problem. I have cream in my coffee, heavy cream. I mean, before going keto, I quit smoking and I was drinking a lot of coffee. Basically started drinking coffee on a daily, regular, consistent basis when I quit smoking in 2010. So I basically gave up smoking habit and picked up a more expensive coffee habit, sort of. We were then brewing our own coffee in the office, and I was drinking it black. It was just okay, I'm just going to drink black coffee, and I drank it all day. It was just because I didn't want to keep cream in the office or have to worry about remembering to stop at the store to buy cream and then remembering to bring it to the office, and I just didn't need that headache. And so I got to where I was drinking coffee black, and then when I decided to go keto, that was the big thing at the time in 2016 was the butter and coconut oil in the coffee. So I was drinking a coffee cup this big with 165 grams of fat in it, which was about a half a stick of butter and about 6 to 8 tablespoons of coconut oil, refined coconut oil, all blended in together with a immersion blender. And so that kind of gave me a very creamy coffee, a very thick, viscous, creamy coffee. And when I decided to give up that, I decided to put cream in my coffee, and now we just use heavy cream. And I enjoy that immensely. It's one of my favorite things of the day. I don't want to give it up. It's just one of those things. I just truly, truly enjoy my coffee and cream. I don't drink hardly ever anymore. I don't smoke. I've given up most of the carbohydrates and sugars and given up most of the things that are bad for me. I'm keeping coffee and cream. I understand that there's an addiction aspect to coffee, and I am addicted to coffee. But I mean, I've gone a year without coffee since starting keto just to see if I could, and I did not enjoy it. My life was not better for it. I mean, I probably saved some money by not having coffee or caffeine, but my life was not any better. I don't think that my life was any better. Evelyn says, I'm on water until I break my fast with bone broth. Just past 36 hours at 7:30. Trying to go for 40. We will see. Just be careful. Don't trip and fall and land on a steak. Yes, I agree. That is pretty awesome. Iguanas mean good eating. Well, I've never tried one, so I don't know. But I mean, it's meat. How bad could it be? I don't know why, but I think iguana meat to me seems like it would be like flaky, like codfish for some weird reason. I don't think it probably is, but that's kind of what's in my head. Barbara says she's a grandma from freezing cold Central Indiana. I live in freezing cold Central Indiana, where it is currently, what do we got here? It is currently 27 degrees, which is actually kind of warm for what it's been. I think yesterday was 25. The day before it was like 5. It was just really cold. Just a bit of snow, sleet. It's now 23 degrees. Wow, that's crazy. That's what I do here. That's what I do. I'm rude just to Cindy because of love. You know how it goes. Sean says, I found the perfect duck trap for you on Facebook the other day, Rick. I think you sent that to me. Let's see. John says, I keep the cream in my coffee. I have about a tablespoon, so mine's more than that. I just put it until the cup is full. Let's see. Rick says, I never smoked or drink alcohol, coffee, or eat duck food, never waddle, quack, or mate. Well, the last part's all on you. Sounds miserable, but I mean, hey. Cindy says it's 27 degrees here in Kentucky, going to 37 and sunny. Tomorrow, chance of snow flurries. We got snow and sleet last week, then snow Friday, Saturday. Same here. Matt said it's 41 degrees here in Orlando, sunny but cold. Feel bad for the runners in the Disney Marathon this morning. Well, I mean, really, if I was going to run a marathon, I would rather it be kind of chilly than hot. I wouldn't want to run a marathon at Disney at 90 degrees. That sounds miserable. I don't think she's in South Carolina. I think she's in South Carolina now. She's from Indy. But yes, if you are ever in the Indy area, you are always welcome to join us at our Indy Keto meetup here in May. Stacy's in the house. Good morning, kids. Good morning, my dear. How are you and Ken doing this morning? Let's see. If you haven't, just says, haven't you seen what Cindy makes the guinea pig try? Pretty adventurous. I don't remember. I'm going to plead the fifth. That's fine. Let's see. Barbara says, I'm down for that, Cindy. I think the next one is an Elkhart. Oh, yeah. Well, Elkhart is in April. We haven't solidified a date yet. I'm waiting for more information from the Bears. So, Chris and Miriam Bear from Keto Chow Salty are going to be kind of coming into that area. They want to do a meetup. We have kind of like a sort of thing. We kind of think it's going to be April 1st, but I don't know for sure. So we're just kind of waiting to get that finalized. I do know that there is a March 8th meetup in Columbus, Ohio for Hungry Heath. That is on lowcarbevents.com. If anybody is interested, space is very limited for that. So sign up quickly. And I'm going to be there as far as right now, I have RSVP'd. And yeah. And then let's see. Like I said, I'm thinking about going to the 28th down in Dixon, Tennessee. Still got to confirm all that with the lady because it's a Tuesday, but she won't be able to go because of the granddaughter obligation that we have. So, and I do believe we are also coming in for the 26th, Sunday the 26th at 8 p.m. will be the next installment of the Keto Crusade. So, Chris, Victor, and myself, Sunday, January 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Keto Crusade will be once on the airwaves to conquer whatever. I'm going to try to get that up today. Try to get that up today so we can get that all squared away. I've got to come up and I've got to get all the information together. Going to be talking about some addiction issues. That's the preliminary topic is addiction, whether it's food addiction, sugar, carbohydrate addiction, alcohol addiction, kind of addiction, and how we kind of feel that addiction does sort of get overlooked in this community to some degree, where there's a lot of influencers who don't take carb and food addiction into account. They just kind of want to push through and say, why don't you just not do that? Well, I mean, there's a struggle in life, and not everything is easy for us. But anyway, I digress. Let's see. What do we got going on here, boys and girls? Let's see. People saying hello to Stacy. Oh, let's see. Sean says 41 here, still better than the 19 at home in Virginia. Oh yeah. I'm not sure about Elkhart, but they do Amo, Indiana, the community center. Yes, that is going to be Saturday, May 24th, if I'm thinking correctly. That one is the one we are planning to and should have 2KK in attendance. So 2 Crazy Ketos, Joe and Rachel in attendance. More TBA on that. Now that Jackie lives far away. But yeah, since now Jackie has moved to Toledo, Ohio, and doesn't live in Indiana anymore. Let's see. Yes, Central Florida should be cold always. I want to go to Disney. I want to go to Disney World when it's 65 degrees. That's what I'm saying. I want to go to Disney World and be comfortable in a hoodie. That's what I want. I want to walk around Epcot, see the world, and it's chilly. That's what I want. 36 degrees in Las Vegas, but wind is making it feel like 22. Oh my goodness. I bet all your lizards are dead. And hopefully the people that are handing out the CDs on the crosswalks are not out today. 27 degrees in Ohio, says Andy. Just had a phone call with the baby. She loves to blow kisses. 16 months old. She is so cute. I do love the squishies. Oh, you do live in Indiana, about 2 hours from you. Okay. I get confused. Just look at me. I'm just a pretty face, okay? I don't know what anybody expects out of me for real, but hey, I'm just a pretty face. Let's see. 27 degrees. Feels like 17. Ugh. I have a daughter in the bathroom right now. She's just been sleeping in the bathroom all night because her new place only has one bathroom and there's like 4 adults and 4 kids. And if you need to be in the bathroom nonstop, it's not a great place to be. So she spent the night here sleeping on the bathroom floor because she just doesn't feel good. And I feel really bad for her. So keep her in your thoughts, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. It is kind of funny, but at the same time, I feel bad. But I made sure she had everything she needed. I gave her, she had like some Starry, she had some electrolytes, some water. Oh, I brought her I had bought a case of Kirkland bottled water. And then I have a bunch of cases of Ice Mountain in the in the big fridge outside the garage. And the big fridge is the garage when it's this cold outside. And I brought her a couple bottles of the Kirkland water. She's like, "Oh, it's not the good water." I'm like, "What? Come on." Oh, Carnivore K is in the house. Good morning. Slept in this snowy morning in WNC. Is that near West Philadelphia? Born and raised on the playground is where you spent most of your days? I don't think so, but it could be. People saying hello, hello. 32 degrees in Central Florida. Brrr. Let's see. Evelyn, I've been doing the Quit Sugar Summit this week, free version. I found a lot of people very informative. Our friend Tia from KPO was on. That's how I found out about it. Well, that's awesome. I have to take a look at that. I don't even really know what's going on. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I love it when they're super lovey dovey. Like our granddaughter is 6, and she'll give you loving sometimes, but usually it's just her teenager attitude. She's 6 with a teenager attitude, so you know how that goes, right? Yeah, I had not heard about that as well. Ken's back in bed. We'll watch you. Oh, Ken back in bed. We'll watch you later. Both of us are on Pax of Lloyd. Appreciative positive emoji from you. Well, we love you, Cindy, Stacy. I'm sitting here looking at Stacy. Cindy's right above you. I apologize. Stacy, you and Ken feel better. We love you. Get toasty in the blankie. Get some good sleep, and we'll see you soon, okay? Hey, yo! Hungry He's in the house. I did not see your Friday Night Live last night. I didn't even see Cindy's live. Friday night I didn't see your live or Cindy's live. Chandra actually came home early, and we hung out, and actually we're kind of napping a little bit when Cindy's live was happening. And I got up and had stuff to do, and I actually just completely forgot what time it was and forgot what day it was, and it was weird um, because like I said, I was at the post office at going to the post office like 12:30, 1 o'clock. And on my way home, Chandra was like, I'm on my way home. They left that we didn't have any patients, so they're sending me home early. And it was like a day she picks up on Fridays. So it was kind of nicer coming home and just hanging out. And it was just not like we don't spend a lot of time together anyway. But like it's like when it's one of those things where you weren't expecting to have the time, and then now you do have the time. So we made use of it. We had a good time. We just enjoy it. We just enjoy each other's company so very much. Let's see. Thank you, Cindy. Just tuned in and heard two things that caught my ear. Well, what caught your ear, Heath? Let me know. Let me know. And here's if you want to find out Hungry Heath, there's his YouTube channel. He and his beautiful wife Shelly are always on there doing lives and doing MS updates and all kinds of stuff. Thank you so much, Maritza. I appreciate that very much. Brian Doyle says, finally getting traction. Had to quit using any sweeteners and no heavy cream or cheese. Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's not fun because I'm sure that you truly enjoy those things. But yeah, I mean, really finding what works best, I think, is a great thing about this community. Is that there's always something to try, and it's pretty awesome. Congratulations. I'm truly glad you're seeing some results. 'Cause I know how much you were struggling and how much it was bothering you, and it truly, truly does mean the world to me that you're finding some answers. Stacy says, I quit Sugar Summit last year. I like the program. I need to check it out. Thanks for pimping out the meeting with the Horde event. Well, yes, of course. That's what community does. Get on it. It's limited availability. So if you think you might want to go RSVP and then come and hang out with me. Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize. Thank you, Evan. Hope your daughter feels better. I understand eating your own bathroom when you feel bad. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, I feel so bad. I took her some blankets. She's like sleeping on the bathroom floor. I'm like, that's awful. Like when you feel bad, where you're like, I'm just gonna lay on the hard floor and it's gonna be okay. And you're just like, whatever, this sucks, and you're just laying there like, whatever. It's been a while for me, knock on this little desk wood here. But yeah, I mean, whew. JJ's in the house. Good morning, JJ. Let's see. He says, number 2, why are folks running marathons? Do they not know that the first person to do this died, in my opinion? Well, okay, so there is a euphoria that comes from running. And I used to think that that had to be some kind of BS. But then there was a time when I was using the elliptical every day. And I got to the point where I would be on the elliptical and you would get that runner's high. You would just start getting a euphoric feeling as you're doing it, like, this feels amazing. So I understand that runners who truly run and run often do that and they get that. But running was always touted to be some big healthy, and I'm not saying that running isn't healthy, but I think that was kind of touted to be something that it isn't. But I mean, if you want to run a marathon, do it. If you can run it, do it. I can't run down the block. So there's that. JJ, day number 18 of triple B&E. That's fantastic. I am trying to decide. I think I'm going to probably do a little bit of both. Triple B&E, which is basically carnivore, as well as just carnivore. I need to do that for a while, set myself a goal. I need to also incorporate the week of fasting that I had planned to do this year. I have not yet done that. Been a little slacking on that. Just one of those things like I just haven't cared. Not that I haven't cared, but it's just been one of those things like I just haven't had the resolve that I've had in previous years. And we started the year different. Then it was like, yeah, excuses, right? So trying to remove the excuses. I do plan on doing triple B&E. It won't be a part of anybody's like plan or anybody's challenge or anything like that. I like to do it on my own. I do have enough eggs in the fridge. I had like 14 dozen eggs in the fridge. I think we're down to maybe 12 dozen eggs in the fridge right now. So eggs, bacon. I got plenty of bacon. They had bacon on sale at Kroger the other day. I got Indiana Kitchen bacon for cheaper than Costco. I usually keep at least 2 packs of the Costco bacon in the fridge. That's 8 pounds of bacon because each package from Costco is 4 pounds. And I bought 4 pounds from Kroger the other day. So I'm probably gonna make a good amount of bacon today. I think I'm gonna do some, even with the triple B&E, I probably will incorporate some, 24, 48, 36-hour fasts and stuff in there. Just to mix things up a little bit, kind of get myself moving in the right direction. Um, yeah. My lady laugh a lot. Andy is sweeping and cleaning and listening. She said, sorry to hear that, Evelyn. I'm not sure what Evelyn said. Let's see. Never mind, Evelyn. Not reading chat. Hungry or Jeff says, Hungry Heath, I have run a marathon. I did it to be part of the 1% who have finished one. That's one of those things, like, I kind of would like to do one just to say that I've done it. That's kind of why I did the 21-day fast a few years ago, because it was a personal kind of like, I can do this. Oh, I can do 7 days. I can do 21 days. Then I did 14 days, and a couple of 14-day fasts. I've done 15 days. That was a failed 21-day fast, but you have to listen to your body. And my body was like, you know what? Guy? You're done. It's time to eat. So I had to break the fast and kind of get through that. It was rough. Maritza says, I'm starting triple B&E, but went to Costco. They were sold out of eggs at every Costco in Las Vegas area because there's some kind of like bird flu thing going on. I don't. I kind of it kind of like also kind of coincided with the fact that the FDA is now saying that eggs are healthy again. The eggs are good. Eggs are bad. You take the good, you take the bad. The facts of life. Anyway, yeah, it's just one of those things. Like Costco has been cheaper than Walmart when it comes to eggs as of late for me. Walmart 5 dozen box of eggs has been 20, like 20, like $22 a box of 5 dozen, and Costco has been about 14 to 15 bucks. So I thought that was pretty crazy. JJ says, I think this is my third or fourth time doing triple B&E. I did finally switch to only eating pasture-raised eggs, though. I just can't get. I mean, if I had a good source of affordable pasture-raised eggs, I would be totally into it. But really, right now, just getting my hands on eggs in of themselves has been difficult. Like I said, even like Walmart's selling 5 dozen for $22. I did get 3 dozen from Kroger the other day. They had a coupon. They were $2.50 a dozen, which is insane to think because just it seems like a few years ago, eggs forever were like 39 cents, 49 cents a dozen. You know, eggs were pennies each, and now they're almost dollars each. Mr. Doyle says smoking a pork belly today. That sounds delicious. I've never had smoked pork belly. I really wish I could get some of that fried pork belly with that super crispy skin, but the pork belly that I have access to does not have the skin attached. I did get boiled eggs and egg whites. Get what you can, you know. Cindy says stocked up on eggs on New Year's Eve at Costco, bought 15 dozen as we are doing no spend January. Okay. So if you run out of eggs, you can't buy more eggs? That whole idea of like to me, like no spend is like no extra spending. But like you gotta pay your bills, you gotta pay, like you gotta get groceries. At least that's how I would look at no spend. Like to me, I would be like, well, I'm just gonna like I could maybe do no Amazon stuff coming on. But even then we've got subscription stuff that comes. So like Chandra uses NMCT oil in her coffee. And we get that coming from Amazon. She has Propels that she takes to work with her. And those come from Amazon. I get a couple different things that we get sent here, like vitamins and stuff. We get magnesium scent and all that stuff, you know. Let's see. Cindy says the last couple of days I've been doing eggs and keto chow only. May continue this for a bit. Made chaffles with baked potato flavor yesterday. So how does that work? So how does a chaffle with baked potato flavor work? And which recipe are you using? I am curious because I'm curious. You know how it goes. Yes, I understand that. But what I was saying is I want to try the crispy skinned pork belly. That's not, you don't get the crispy skin necessarily from smoking it, but I've seen them deep fry that and it looks so good. But you gotta have the skin for that. JJ says, I can't remember even seeing eggs that cheap. $1.25, $1.50 is the cheapest I remember. I paid $9 for 18 eggs last night. That's insanity. But I remember going to like Costco or Aldi and all not that long ago. I mean, I think probably maybe mid-pandemic, and they were like 59 cents, 69 cents a dozen. You're so welcome, Stacy. Thanks for the prayers and positive mojo. The season's big C knocked us to the ground. Yeah, I think you guys just need to get some good rest. Enjoy each other's company as you do. Just know that we do love you. We're thinking about you, and you better get better soon. Okay? Don't make me come there. Mr. Gugahan says, I'm having crunchy pork belly for dinner tonight. Got a big hunk of it with the skin on yesterday at Publix. Can't wait. See, we don't even have a Publix. That's amazing. I'm still getting farm fresh eggs at $2.50 a dozen. They're so good. Well, that's cheaper than going to Walmart. If I had a source, I would totally be into doing that. But I just don't have the source. You know what I mean? Cindy says, of course, the bills are paid, not including in the no spend. Yeah, you got to pay your mortgage and all that stuff. John says, getting ready for church now. Talk to you all later. Well, thank you for being here, my friend. Be safe, stay warm, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy. Brian Doyle says, most butcher shops will sell it with the skin on. Yeah, I need to check that out and see what's going on. Let's see. Sydney says, using keto chow chaffle recipe, except I use 4 eggs of 3 eggs, 1 cup mozzarella cheese, and 1 serving of keto chow. Add water for consistency. Okie dokie. Buongiorno, Christian Delorme, Vinyl Revival. Hello, my friend. How are you doing? I am so glad to see you here, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're doing well, my Canadian friend. Bonjour, bonjour. Evelyn says, I do the crispy chaffle, some Keto Twins recipe. I add a couple tablespoons of baked potato keto chow. Tasted just like crispy hash browns. Oh, my goodness. JJ says, about to separate my 2 chuck roasts I cooked in the slow cooker for meal preps this week. Well, that sounds delicious. Super excited for that. I hope it's delicious for you, my friend. Keto Amy is in the house. Good morning, Amy. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, my goodness. We were talking about the Elkhart meetup in April. I was saying that we do not yet have any confirmation of a specific date. Hopefully, we will get that all squared away soon. I need to reach out to Chris and Miriam and find out exactly, or if they have any idea what day they are planning to be free and want to do the meetup, so we can get that up on the low carb event. So anybody in the Michigan, Northern Indiana, that corner of Ohio, or anybody like in Chicago, any of those areas where it's only maybe an hour, 2 or 3 hour drive. I typically am okay with driving 3 hours. 3 hours is kind of a normal limit for me on a regular like little meetup. I'll drive to Columbus, Ohio. I've done that many times. I understand like this whole thing when it comes to the meetup in Tennessee. If I can work it out and get something on the books and scheduled with Chris and Ash and record some stuff with them, maybe spend an extra day down there, do that kind of thing, that might make it worthwhile to drive 6 hours for a 2-hour Q&A. But it's just one of those things. Hopefully we can get that all worked out. That'll be a lot of fun. I haven't even really broached it with them. I just asked if they were going to go to that. They would probably go too. That would be a lot of fun. But yeah. Lurk all you want, dear. It's fine. Good morning, all. Lurking for a while. That's fine. Truly appreciate you being here very much. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Oh, so Imazadi is James. Okay. I'm not sure I knew that. I'm not very smart sometimes. Janet from another planet is in the house. What would be fun, Janet from another planet? I was talking about a couple different things. I want to make sure I understand what's going on. You would think I would know what I'm talking about on my own stream, right? Hey, I'm just a pretty face. Do you ever take a sip of coffee and it's just so good, you're just like at a loss for words? I love getting a group together. We do meetups. So if you're not familiar, Janet, we do meetups where we do a meetup twice a year here in Central Indiana. There's usually 1 or 2 meetups in the Columbus, Ohio area. We've started to incorporate meetups up in the Elkhart, Mishawaka area up in Northern Indiana. Now that we do have a friend up there, we have Amy up there, Keto Rockstar Amy. She's up in that area. So we're planning something there in April. There's the end of this month. I'm planning to be maybe down in Dixon, Tennessee, which is an hour west of Nashville, Tennessee, for a Q&A that they're doing down there. Maybe trying to incorporate myself, get myself set up with some friends of mine who are also YouTubers in Nashville, maybe record some content down there. There's an Eaton, Ohio meetup in June with Andy. So there's meetups going on all the time. So we do try to get people together. It's just a matter of where are you? if you are in an area that does not have a meetup, what I recommend is, especially in this, um, yeah. So I mean, if you and Bruce are wanting to get a meetup together, I always say, depending on how many you have, Buffalo Wild Wings, especially for this community, Buffalo Wild Wings is a good place to start. And that's one of my first meetups I ever went to. Was at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Um, they do cook their wings in tallow, so they're not cooking in seed oils. They're usually pretty receptive during the day, open, okay with large groups. Some of them even have like a back room type thing that's kind of closed off from everybody. So that's something that can work out as well. It doesn't charge to have a big group. Um, they may or may not add a bigger gratuity to the thing, but that's fine. Um, yeah, and yeah, so please post these meetups in low carb events so we can keep track of everything and schedule appropriate. Yeah, so a lot of these we haven't got on the low carb events yet because it's still quite early. So our next meetup is in May. It's May 24th. We don't I don't think we have it solidified 100% of everything that's going on, who's coming, but we do need to get that up on low carb events. There's a meetup in April 1st in that general timeline. We don't have it yet because again, we don't know for sure if it's going to be the first, the last day of March, what's going on. I got to talk to the Bears and find out when they are going to for sure have a day. But yeah, so if you can't find a meetup on your own, just create one. If you have it, and it is a low carb event, like if you were doing a keto carnivore meetup, then there is lowcarbevents.com, which is run by Keto Chow, Chris and Keto Chow, and they will put that up. And people, it's meetups from all around the world that are low carb, keto, carnivore, lion, all that stuff. That's a place to make sure that people from all over the world can find out about your meetup. Even if you don't know who they are, you may get people, and you always will put information about you, sign up, and all that stuff in there. That's a wonderful resource to ensure that we all have, you know, access. Uh, that cherry chill is so good. It's like almost like a tart, like a sweet tart to me. Yes, thank you, Janet. Maritza, anyone in Vegas, I would love to see about getting a meetup. If I could get out to Vegas, I would throw something together, something. Um, there's a plenty of spots in Las Vegas. I mean, probably strip wise, off strip. I mean, if I was going to be in Vegas, I'd probably be staying on strip somewhere. But well, I don't know with all those resort fees and parking and all that stuff. But yeah. Yes. I mean, realistically, there's got to be meetups in Las Vegas. There's got to be low carb communities in Las Vegas. There is that bakery in Las Vegas that is open. I can't think of the name of it right now, but there is the bakery that's off strip that focuses on keto, low carb. Um, I've been wanting to try it out, so I would imagine that that's a good place to inquire. All that stuff. Let's see. Amy's asking, what is the Eaton meetup? Are we trying to do the Ship Shawana Fun Day here? And we are trying to plan a Ship Shawana Fun Day here in Middlebury, Indiana. Okay, I want to find out more about that, Amy. June 28th, 2025, from 1 to 5. That's just outside of Cincinnati, if I remember correctly. Sorry, Middlebury, Indiana. They have a flea market and Amish grocery store where you can get cleaner stuff. Oh, that sounds fun. Still need to put up a flyer. Let's see. Cindy says to Maritza, uh, Elena Wang, aka Keto Wang, is in that area. I just had her on my live Friday. Yes, smash the like button. I would appreciate that. Thank you so much, Janet. Let's see. Andy says the Ship Shawana meetup will have to be, or sorry, Amy says, thanks, Andy. The Ship Shawana meetup will have to be during the week since the flea market is only open on Tuesday. That would be great because I think Chandra would like going to a flea market and Chandra could attend. That sounds fantastic. Hopefully, if it'd be a day, hopefully I don't know if we would bring the girl to that or not. I mean, if it's during the summertime, then we may have to. She loves people, but it's just one of those things, you know. We have to find out if mommy's okay with it. Mommy may have to take a day off work. Daddy may have to take a day off work. But with something we can definitely plan around. Perhaps I may do a meetup and have it at Buffalo Wild Wings instead. Yes. I need to finish our triple B&E first. Before getting busy with another project. Let's see. And he says, I bought a bag of all 3 new flavors. Vegas has Elena Keto Wang. She is even full time. I don't know. I'm missing something here. Let's see. I'm having Citrus Splash. I did not like Citrus Splash. And that's one they're getting. I think they're discontinuing the Citrus Splash in favor of the Lemon Lime Twist. Coffee, finally. I raise my cup. Bucky Beaver to you, JJ. But yeah, I can't wait for 2025. I mean, we're in it. We're in it right now. It's 2025. We're here. We're there. We're doing all the fun stuff. I'm excited for all the great stuff. I mean, just sitting here talking about all the things that we've got in the works already. It just seems like the perfect time. You know, it seems hard to imagine that we're going to be kicking off the 2025 kind of meetup events this soon. I wasn't anticipating there to be something in January, but if I can make it work, I'm excited to who may show up. And then getting into nothing in February, as far as I'm aware. Then March 8th is the Hungry Heath, the Hungry Horde meetup in Columbus, Ohio. So we'll be heading off to that. And then April, we've got the Mishawaka area, the Elkhart area meetup that we're talking about. We're looking to make sure we have plenty of space, plenty of people for that. Stacy says January 30th, Ken and I restart our weekly easy peasy support group meetings, just friends getting together to encourage each other. That sounds phenomenal. I do plan on trying to attend. Hopefully Shannon and I can make it to one of those. That would be truly a blessing to get her together with everybody. I know you guys want to see her and make sure that she is actually in fact real and not made up. She's not AI, I promise. JJ says, I really enjoyed the grapefruit. Cherry was meh. Lemon lime was okay. The cherry is okay. So the cherry is a very different flavor from what I'm used to when it comes to an electrolyte. We are a multi-brand household. I am an affiliate with Salty, so I do promote Salty. I do enjoy Salty, but we also Chandra likes some of the she likes the lemon lime flavor from Liquid IV. It doesn't have magnesium, but we do already take a magnesium supplement anyway. It's just something to extra to help her out. She likes the flavor, and when we get it from Costco, it comes with a peach. I like the peach. I know there's some maltodextrin in there. Just like with the Element, we still have a bunch of Element in our house. We haven't purchased any in a long time, but we still have boxes upon boxes of Element still in our house that we're going to go through. We're not going to throw them away over a little bit of maltodextrin. I may not purchase it ever again, but I'm definitely not going to throw it away. I have a good amount of the Perfect Keto Black Cherry electrolytes that I like a lot. I have the Redmond's Relight as well in the house. we just enjoy all of it. Uh, this is more cherry chill. Uh, but that's a weird flavor for electrolyte. I like it because it's kind of like the fruity, salty kind of tartness. It's just a weird flavor to me, but I like it. It mixes things up a little bit. Julie in the Pines is here. She says, "Good morning, everyone. I am up in time for the live, but I have to jump in the shower. I'll be back." All right, we'll be waiting for you. And Amy says, "My sister lives 80 miles outside of Vegas, so I might come." I love that. Brenda says, I loved everything peach. The fruit, tea, jams, missed that. The peach liquid IV is actually pretty dang good. I mean, if you're okay with it not having the best amount of electrolytes, it's not necessarily the cleanest. But I mean, we get it at Costco when it's on sale. It's like $20 a bag. I think it's 26 sticks for $30. Or yeah, I think it's no, we get it for $22 for 26 sticks when it's on sale. Otherwise, it's $29.99, I think. So, you know. Barbara Caster, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you becoming a new member. I appreciate you again being on the lookout for the next couple of lives. You will see your name in the credits as long as you remain a member. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll be back Tuesday night. I'm not going anywhere just yet. Just let everybody know that we will be here Tuesday night. Shannon and I, you know. And he says, "That's okay, JJ. That's what's lively about a live stream. You can watch them all later as well." Let's see. Amy says, "My sister is the one who got me started on keto, so she would come." Fantastic. Brenda is here. I tried mixing the lime and cherry. It didn't work for me. That sounds not well. Cherry limeade? Yeah, that was. Yeah, that'd be weird. Karen, have a good day. Be safe. Stay warm. Amy says, "Yes, brain the girls." Maritza says, "That would be great," and try to see about getting in touch with Elena Wang. And I mean, you maybe even reach out to, I can't think of the name of let me look it up here real quick. Keto Bakery is called the Starburst Parlor. Let's see if I can find the address. Starburst Parlor at Gmail. Let's see. I'm gonna try to find there. It's on 2202 West Charleston, Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. There was a map here. Where'd that map go? Looks like it is. Let's see. Okay, so it's off of let's see, there's the Strat Hotel, Sahara. Okay, all right. So it's north of the Strat. So it's closer to downtown. It's over by Valley Medical Hospital Medical Center, University Medical Center. It's over by that area. Um yeah. There's downtown Las Vegas. It's It's just north of 159.15. So yeah, I don't know if that helps you at all, Maritza. Um, you're on West Sahara. Okay, I know where that is. Yeah, because Sahara, because I've stayed at the Sahara before. Stayed at the Strat before. Yeah, because I know if you go up to up to Sahara where the Sahara Hotel is and go left or west, then you can there. I know there's In and Out there. There's a Goodwill there. I know because we've gone over to there. That's like almost 10 years ago, though. Yeah. So yeah, Rick likes the Heart Attack Grill. But yeah, so West Sahara, yeah, because I know that we've been out that way because we went there to get In and Out Burger, and then Shander wanted to go in and check out the Goodwill there. So yeah. Uh, it shows me here that there are 40 of you watching from X, Twitter X. Comment, say hello. Do you have any questions? Do I know who you are? I love that. I just don't know if people are interacting, if they're actually watching. I don't know if it's like if it's a live listing of whatever. I just don't know how X works on there. I just because I send this off to YouTube, Facebook, and X, so I'm simulcasting to 3 different places. So yeah. As soon as, or I mean, if they do show up, if Chris and Ash show up, I'll talk to them a little bit about that. Maybe if not, I will reach out to them in a little while and talk to them about that. I've got some work to do after the stream ends to get some of the membership information updated. Again, as long as you are a member, I'll try to make sure you are showing up in the credits. I think that's a cool way to show my appreciation is to put you in the credits. JJ says, I hope Blue Sky picks up eventually. I deleted X. I like X, and I'm not getting rid of it. I like the community, the community aspect of it. It's like people can post things, and there can be like the community kind of thing about it. I think that's interesting that people can post things under it, like the community notes. I like that I've curated it down to where I don't see anything I really don't want to, and if I don't like it, I can just like block it, mute it, do whatever I want. So I'm only seeing things from people that I want to see things from. I see stuff from Dr. Barry, different doctors. So really, I curated X to be exactly what I want it to be. I've been on there for a very long time, and I have a pretty decent following over there. So Blue Sky is kind of like I don't know because there's Blue Sky, there's the Threads. I have all of them. I even I have anytime one of them new pops up, I kind of pop over and pick up pick up the KetoSimple thing, just so I have it. I mean, I have like whatever the True Social. I have all those things. I don't really use those. I just go and pick up my own name. That way, I know if anybody is posting under my name, it's me. Or somebody doesn't go and grab it and start posting stuff that I wouldn't appreciate as me or whatever the case is, right? So, I mean, I'm on Instagram, X, YouTube. You know, I just hear people are talking about deleting Facebook now and all that stuff, and I just think social media is such a new phenomenon. It might seem like it's old news to us because it's been a while. We've had social media for at least what coming up on 15, almost 20 years. But in the grand scheme of media, that is a blink of an eye. We've had newspapers and all that stuff for far much longer, TV even longer. So it's going to take some time to kind of work out the bugs of social media. And I don't like the knee jerk reactions. If a social media platform does something that I'm not exactly like excited about, I don't just jump off and stop using it because I think it's important to try and be involved in all aspects of social media, even if there are people that you may not agree with on that platform, because you're always going to be around people you don't agree with. And it seems to be the reason why a lot of people that I see leaving platforms is because they feel like that there's too much undesirable people or whatever. My thing is the bots. Most of the time, if you're arguing with someone or you're seeing somebody post something for engagement purposes, probably a bot. But so that's how I look at it. I think that social media is at this point kind of a necessary aspect of what I do. I see people, I'm gonna avoid social media for I just can't. And I mean, I don't really utilize, I mean, I don't have, okay, so the way I have my phone set up, I don't have any notifications coming to my phone. So if I'm getting, if so- my phone could be blowing, like Twitter could be blowing up and I'd have a million notifications from Twitter, I would not know until I opened it up. Facebook, same way. The only notifications I have come to my phone are text messages, whether it's Facebook Messenger or SMS, emails, phone calls, and I think that's really about it. That's the only thing that comes through my phone. If I don't open the app, I don't. So when I look at my phone, I don't. You know, yeah. You know, I don't know. All right, Heath. Have a good one, my friend. Be sure to check out his 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's see, to make sure you tune in about all of his stuff he's got going on. It's always fun. I will be there if I remember. Sometimes I take a nap and forget. Carl says only 15 likes. Amy says we have a few places that make protein donuts too. I don't get them because they sometimes use honey as a sweetener, so I make my own. Let's see. Yeah, I just go in and I just have to have all of them, and I mean that's fine. I have whatever I have. Um, I have all of them that I know of, at least right now. I mean, as far as I know. Yeah. In the olden days, they were called a handle. Now it's called branding. I mean, really, it's the same thing. Let's see, JJ. I haven't deleted my Twitter account. I've had it too long for that. Hoping one day Musk will get tired of it. I kind of think it was cool when he bought it because then he opened up the Twitter files and found out all the stuff that they were censoring. I thought that was cool. I mean, I wish he wasn't so loudmouthed. I think he does a lot of cool stuff. I think he's doing a lot of good stuff with SpaceX and Starlink and what he's done with Tesla and built that company up. I just wish he wasn't kind of saying dumb stuff all the time. But I mean, he's going to do what he's going to do. Let's see. I've had my Facebook since nearly the inception. I didn't get a Facebook until 2009. I was a MySpace kid. You know, I was a MySpace person. I like MySpace. Facebook was just, it's like, I don't really care. It was always like, to me, my outlook on Facebook was it was people who thought they were too good for MySpace and goes, I don't have a MySpace, but you can find me on Facebook. That's how I always looked at it. And then I was just like, whatever. And then finally I was like, and then as MySpace started to decline, I was like, well, I guess I need to get a Facebook. And then I did, and then I basically completely shifted. And that's my thing is the censorship. Like, I didn't like the idea that they were taking stuff off that was true. Like, I don't know. There was just so much stuff going on, and like it just seemed like we should be knowing what, I don't know. We should be able to say whatever we want to a degree. And because I like this, the censorship aspect of it means at this point, me having this channel, I am saying things that the FDA doesn't agree with. I am saying things that the general consensus of most doctors do not agree with. I am saying things that, if they wanted to, could take down for fake news, because I'm saying things like, it's not fake to me. These are things that I've done in my life. These are true things that I have accomplished with my life. I went low carb keto, lost 150 pounds. Again, I don't provide any advice, as I'm not a doctor or healthcare professional or anything like that. But the things that my channel talks about could be construed and censored because it doesn't fall in line with the FDA. It doesn't fall in line with the general consensus of doctors. Now, there's Dr. Barry and there's other doctors who would, that, are there to back up things that I talk about. That's where the censorship thing bothers me, because, the idea is, if I have something to say and it's true to me because of my experience, then how could someone come behind me and go, well, that's fake? Because I still remember when I first started doing keto and I started to lose weight, I made a post on my own personal Facebook, and a person that was a friend of mine on my Facebook just puts a comment and goes, fake. They were a big calories in, calories out. You got to go to the gym, you know what I mean? Eat less, move more type person. So that's this whole time we've been dealing with all this censorship. That's my main concern. How do we navigate social media and be able to tell things that, talking about keto and carnivore being healthy, when the general consensus really still is that cholesterol isn't healthy, that eating too much meat isn't healthy? How do we navigate that? So that's why I'm very cautious when anybody says, we should crack down on fake news, because it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. It's not a partisan thing. To me, my whole channel can be considered fake news. Misinformation. I have friends that I've been friends with for over 20 years. They come to me and they say, I just worry about you and the dangerous information you're putting out there. This is recently. Like, I worry, you've lost weight and da-da-da-da-da, but what is that going to do to you long term? How is that going to impact your health long term? People see my transformation and still don't think that I'm doing the right thing. That's why the censorship bothers me. Because my channel could disappear tomorrow. Well, that's the thing. So that's with YouTube. Basically what JJ is saying here is like, I do that social media pretty much puts you in a loop of what you read and watch. The more you watch something, the longer you spend reading posts, you'll see something similar to it. Yeah. So that's the thing, is if you watch my content and you click on every video that I put out, you're going to continue to see every video that I put out. But if you stop clicking on my videos, they'll stop showing you my videos, regardless if you're subscribed to me or not. So that's when it comes to YouTube. You don't have to be subscribed to a channel to get their content. If you consistently watch their content and you search for it a few times, say like, so I watch like Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD. If I wasn't subscribed to him, but I wanted to check his channel every so often, click over, see does he have anything new out, and click and watch a couple of his videos, they're going to start showing me his videos even if I'm not subscribed. I get so many different things showing up on my feed that I don't subscribe to because I've watched a few videos on it. So that's really what it comes down to. If you want to help a creator, if you are a fan of a particular creator, watch as much of the content that they put out as you can. And anything they put out, even if you're not necessarily like interested in that video, but you want to support that creator, anything they put out, click it, put it on mute, walk away, let it play for the 10 minutes or whatever it is. And then and if you do that, the more people who click on my videos, the more people who watch my videos, the more people, it doesn't matter how many subscribers I have. So subscribers after your monetization are really nothing more than a vanity metric. But unfortunately, that vanity metric is what gets the attention of sponsors, companies who are willing to look at your channel, work with your channel, help you monetarily with your channel to make your channel more sustainable. But JJ's right. So the more you look at something, the more you're going to see that. And really, when it comes down to YouTube and such, it's not the anytime somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I want to start a YouTube channel." One of the first things I tell them, I had a friend of me just come to me just 2 days ago and say, "I've got a YouTube channel. I made a community post about it. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Please look at it and subscribe to her. She's going to be putting her first couple of videos out soon. She does crafts and stuff. She is the one that made let's see. She made this for me. So she's behind the Beardy Boy cups. So she made these. And she's going to be putting out content, probably how she makes stuff like this. How she makes stuff like that. All kinds of other crafting stuff. So she's going to be making that kind of stuff. But one of the things is I was like, forget the word algorithm. Drop it. Replace it with audience. Because YouTube just wants you to watch YouTube. They don't care if you're watching me or Mr. Beast. They don't care as long as you're watching. But if you watch me, every time I drop a video, anytime I put up a live, they're going to make sure you're there because they want you to watch it. If they think you're going to watch it, they're going to show it. They're going to show it to you. And Facebook or YouTube tries to put your content, my content, in front of as many people that will likely click on it as they can. So, you know. There's Elena's Facebook group. Let's see. Yeah, I mean that's a thing that happens. You just talk about stuff. You know what I mean? My students look at me funny when I tell them I had an Instagram account. I've created an Instagram account back when it was an app on Facebook. I remember getting an Instagram and being like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" If you go back to my KetoSimple Facebook or my KetoSimple Instagram and go all the way back, I think 2014 I started one. There's just the most random pictures. Probably before 2014. But yeah. Yeah, MySpace was fun. JJ says the problem with censorship is who decides what's true or not. The things that get censored is true, but the platform disagrees with. Twitter did that, and now X does it, but the opposite. I just think now I like the idea that even some things that I've seen Elon posts have had community notes, and I'm like, okay, if you can tag a community note to the person who owns the company, I'm okay with it. And I like the idea that Facebook is moving in that direction. Um, that there's going to be community notes and stuff because I've posted things on Facebook that's got me kicked off that didn't make any sense. I've had 24-hour bans for stuff that made absolutely no sense. They had nothing to do with anything, and they're like, you can dispute it, and they're like, nope, but it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. There we go. I was talking about you, my buddy. Chris Cook in Nashville is here. And he says some people, ugh, yeah, 100%. See, I think I missed something up here. Let me see. Oh yeah, Brenda says she tried drinking tea, but it triggered her, so she has to abstain. Yeah. And Brenda says I started Facebook because coworkers were posting her new baby pictures. No regrets. Let's see. Well, there's the thing. Like, here's okay. So that was really why I started the Keto Indianapolis thing on Facebook because I was trying to create a group. I'm kind of glad that I didn't, but I basically created my own blog. It's really what I did. But that wasn't my intention. I was trying to create like a Facebook group. I'm glad I didn't create a Facebook group because I don't know, they're harder to curate and it was just a lot more time. So if I can just post what I want, people can interact whether they want or not. But it doesn't really matter. So I mean, I still post my stuff on my personal Facebook. Um, there's quite a few of you there on my personal Facebook. Not everybody. Um, I hope nobody ever takes offense if I don't accept your friends or whatever. But I mean, that is, I do post my own family photos and stuff there. So I am just kind of a little more cautious. Um, but you know, um, but yeah, I mean, most of the people that are on my Facebook don't actually care. So I mean, it doesn't really matter. But I do still tend to share because there have been people that have come out of the woodwork years later going, I've been following what you're doing. I never said anything, but I've done this and I've had these results. So there are positives. So, you know, people are talking to Cruz, talking about the snow. You'd be surprised. Even I watch some weird stuff sometimes. Yeah, that new tortilla chip video was pretty fun. Have a good one, Amy. Be safe. Stay warm. Good morning, Steph. How are you doing? Exposing Darkness is here. Yeah, Musk does seem to accept when it's community noted. Doesn't have a temper check. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a smart person. I think he just says dumb things. It's like he's one of those people. I think that is super intelligent on the things he's super intelligent about. But if you give him anything else, he's like, what? You know what I mean? I think there's just certain, like, you give him like rockets and electric cars and satellites and stuff like that, and he can totally do awesome stuff. But he needs to not say dumb stuff. He says some of the dumbest stuff. Red shirts in the house. Good morning, Mr. Red Shirt. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you very much. Looking forward to Toxic Tuesday. This Tuesday, we're going to be talking about a man on fire. All right. Brenda's making the chips right now. They're in the dehydrator. Let's see. Like a lot of people, last year was a struggle. I gained 38 pounds, even on most of the time I was still eating right. Stress and no sleep, getting back on track with triple B&E and sleep now. Sleep is one of the most important but undervalued things. We all love sleep, but we're always willing to go without it because we have stuff to do and stress. That's why I just try to relax as much as I can. You know what I mean? Steph says she's bummed that there's no KPL this year. Hopefully, we can make sure that there's enough smaller meetups to kind of make up for it. But I know it's going to be difficult to not have one. That's what I think. Like Amanda Decker said that low carb for better health this year is 2 days, and it's going to be in September. And there's meetups kind of coming. There's a Dixon meetup to 28th on a Tuesday. So that'll be kind of fun. Let's see. Yes. Steph sending her condolences for Brian. Brian's father passed away a couple of days ago. Purple Love Unknown is in the house, just dropping in for a few minutes before I head to my son's house to help out again today. Well, that's very lovely of you. Thank you so much for helping your son. If he doesn't say thank you, I will. Thank you so much. Oh, look at that. Hello, Purple Love Unknown. We miss you. Oh. Yeah. So, but I was telling everybody, Chris, that I was saying that I'm trying to work out the details of coming down to Dixon for the 28th, which is a Tuesday. And I was saying that I most likely I will try to work it out with you and Ash to see if we can get together, film something, maybe make it so it's not just because that's a Q&A, it's like a 2-hour Q&A in Dixon. I don't know if you guys were wanting to go to that or not. We could all roll together kind of thing. And then maybe work on some content at your house. I mean, not a big deal. Not to put you guys on the spot or anything, but it's been something I've been thinking about, and I've been meaning to text you about it, but I've been kind of like lazy the last couple of days. It's been snowy. Spent like way too much time breaking up ice on my driveway yesterday. I did have some people come over and help me with a snowblower, but then I had to go and break up a bunch of ice and shovel that out of the way. And I put down a lot of salt and all that stuff. I was just like, bleh. And I've been watching Suits. Okay, we started watching Suits. Shannon and I started watching Suits about a year or two ago, and then we just kind of fell off of it. It just wasn't in. But I've been watching it by myself because she doesn't want to watch it, and it's a show that I can watch without her. But it's like every episode's the same, and it drives me insane. But yeah. But anyway, coffee. Yeah, I figured you guys are super busy, but we can maybe work something out. I could actually meet your doggy, meet Mel. I know that she was at KPL, but the way KPL was set up, it didn't really work out very well. Yeah. I kind of need. I'm kind of looking forward to maybe getting. Hopefully that'll work out because that's kind of like getting 2025 underway. Like to me, that'd be like the real kickoff of 2025. Like kind of getting like a Q&A kind of meetup thing out of the way, and hopefully see you guys again and all that stuff. It'd be kind of like really kind of jumpstart because I feel like I've just been like I've got 2 videos in the works right now. So I have 2 videos that I'm looking at. One video is talking about the differences between being full and finding satiety. I'm kind of hung up right now on the thumbnail aspect of it. I've kind of worked on kind of the back end stuff, like what to talk about. I got to record that, hopefully maybe today, depending on how I feel. But I'm trying to figure out like the thumbnail aspect, trying to find the right stuff to make the thumbnail. And then I'm also working on a video about, I can't even think of what it was. The one I was the most concerned about at first. I got another video. I've always got about 30 videos in my brain. But then like my ADHD or ADD or whatever it is, my like, ooh, a squirrel kind of thing kicks in, right? So yeah, you know. Look at this. Evelyn's like, I already met Mel. I know you're jealous. I am jealous. I love the doggoos. I love doggies. Yes, sir. Don't forget to have an air mattress with your name on it. And anytime you need it, and dinner is always on the table. Ugh, awesome. I love it. I love this right here. I do this all the time in text. You can ask. You can. I'm the worst texter in the world because I'm in that group chat with Chris and Victor, and I'm always like asterisk something I just said, like because autocorrect, like just for whatever reason, will put the weirdest words in places. Because I do the swipe with Android, and it's like, oh, did you mean this? Well, I'm going to put this instead. I'm like, and I'm so quick at sending, and I'm like, oh wait, that doesn't make any sense at all. So yeah, this is always like I'd be like, get a room, you two, asterisk two. Ugh. Yeah, I forgot how awesome Triple B&E is at helping me find satiety. Finding satiety is just one of those things that I never knew existed for the longest. Like until this way of eating, I didn't know was a thing. Like I would literally eat until I thought I was going to explode. And it still happens sometimes, but it's so much harder to do with like, if I'm eating like hamburgers and maybe some hot dogs or some eggs or something like that, just something that I've whipped up. It's so much harder to overeat and get so stuffed beyond the point of reason when you're eating high fat, high protein. But if you're eating a pizza, you can get past that point and just be miserable. Like with pizza or like the normal like macaroni and cheese and all that stuff. It's just one of like finding satiety is just one of those things. And maybe and I don't know, maybe I'll talk about the different, like what is satiety, how it differs from just overstuffing yourself. I don't know. I got to put the video together, and I've just got to. I want to make sure it's helpful to people because I think understanding that satiety is actually a thing and understanding, like, I never understood how people knew they were full when they still had food on their plates. That was always such a mystery to me. Andy says, that's why I like you. You and I are cut from the same cloth. Yes. And Cindy says, the last 2 days I have managed to refrain from snacking after dinner. That is the worst time for me. So Costco has this Catalina Crunch. I think it's Catalina Crunch. I have to look at it, but it's got like it's like basically Chex Mix, so it's like a cheesy super cheddar flavor, and it's got like fake pretzels in it and like cashews and like the cereal pieces in it, and it's all cheesy. And I bought 2 bags of it over the last couple of weeks, and I'll just sit there and eat that at night. And I really need to not do that. But there's just something it's weirdly comforting about that crunchy, cheesy, snacky. You know what I mean? It's just you know. Evelyn says, I've absolutely never felt satiety until this way of life. I eat way less now. Yeah, I mean, I eat a lot, but it's not like it was before. Chris goes, I'll sweeten the deal for you. I have coffee here. I'm on my way. I love coffee. Lisa's here. She said, sorry I'm late. Was playing catch up with some videos and crocheting my heart out. You never have to be sorry, dear. There's always a replay. There's always just showing up when you can. Yeah, better late than never. Karen Harrington says, "Good morning. Slow to the party. That's fine. I'm always slow at the party." All right, Mr. Red Shirt, gonna head out. See you Tuesday, Dustin. Well, thank you so much, friend. I appreciate you very much, and I will see you soon, my friend. Be safe, stay warm. Brian Doyle's off the Sam's Club. Sam's Club has something I need to go eventually and get it because I really like it. They have these imitation crab legs, but they're like lower carb than anything else I've ever found. Because most of them are like between 14 and 20 carbs per serving. And these I think are 6. So it's still not great. But if I've mentioned it many, 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 many times, it's like I love the imitation crab. I love crab in general, but imitation crab is so delicious, and they have it there. And I mean, I don't know if like maybe the labeling's wrong. I don't know, but it's really lowish carbs for imitation crab. You would think imitation crab would be no carbs, but I mean, there's actually I think a few carbs in each serving of regular crab too. Um, but yeah. Most of the shellfish and all that stuff have a small amount of carbs. Like shrimp has some carbs to it, but I don't know if they're mentioning this. Like, is there carbs in the shell? I don't eat the shell. I don't know. I'm just curious. Yes, sir. But yeah, yeah. I mean, like for real, like we need a collaboration keto collab for imitation crab. It's got to be possible. It really does, or at least some kind of like, even if it, I don't know. Yeah, I want it. I mean, that might be a thing that takes a couple of years to come out, though. Yeah, you could totally do keto crab rangoons. That's a thing that could be done. Um, I wonder if you take the tortilla stuff that Chris makes before it goes in the dehydrator, fold it around crab rangoon stuff, and then drop it in the deep fryer. If that would work, I wonder. Things that make you go hmm. Twinbrook Acres is in the house. Good morning. Yeah. Lisa Ortega says keto crab rangoon. Do tell. I mean, you could do it with like you could do it with I'd probably get pretty close with like low carb tortillas, like the little ones, you know what I mean, the little zero net carb ones. But I think I mean I wonder like how they would be with I don't know how that I don't even know if he tried. Chris, did you try taking those like the fresh baked tortilla stuff that you take and then you cut it and then put it in the before you put it in the dehydrator? Did you try taking that and frying it and see how it turned out? Did you drop it in some hot oil? Hot oil? I might be ruining another video that he has. I don't know, but I'm asking the tough questions. Because Chris does share some things early with Victor and myself, but he still tends to kind of come out of left field with stuff with us. He's like, "Oh, I just put this out." I'm like, "When were you working on that?" Like Chris is busy, like crazy, crazy busy. Yeah, my recipe melts slice of cheese and wraps it around crab mix. So good. Yeah, that's the thing is like I mean, it has some wonky ingredients in it. I mean, it's usually got some kind of starch, something to hold it together. Because I mean, realistically, imitation crab is basically like fish paste. They'll take like all this like fish, like different kinds of fish, and mix it together and puree it into some kind of paste. And then you've got to have something to put it together. Like I wonder, like if you could do that and then like use gelatin, then roll it up. I don't know. You could probably do something like that. I don't know. Make it crab jello. Mm. Chris says I haven't yet. Not real confident with frying because protein gets brown and bitter before it gets crispy a lot of the times. But maybe, who knows? I mean, really, I mean, it could be something cool to try. Like, just make like because you could just, I mean, if it's malleable still from the oven, drop it in and just twist it up and just drop it in. It doesn't have to be in there all that long if it's already cooked. I mean, even most of the time, like the crab rangoon part that's the best isn't even the crispy part. It's that soggy bottom part. You know what I mean? That the part where the crab rangoon goo stuff is in. You know what I mean? Oh, every once in a while, crab rangoon just really hits the spot. Low carb, it is not. But I mean, like we go get sushi sometimes, and like our middle child got us a gift card thing for Sushi Club, and it's like this thing, like you get like so much off every time you go for a whole year for 2025. And we're like, dude, we're keto, right? And like he did it anyway, but it's fine. But I think because he knows if we go, he'll probably invite him to go with us. But we go and get sushi usually between like 1 and 3 times a year, depending. It's typically where the kids want to go for their birthdays. And to me, like rice isn't necessarily the worst of the things out there. Like rice isn't usually the worst. It's not like wheat and all that stuff. So rice is not one of those things like if I'm gonna have a carb and it's rice, I'm not that concerned about it. I mean, do I do it all the time? No, no. I miss rice immensely, but I don't. Chris Cook in Nashville can help. Yeah, the chip recipe made using mozzarella like you used for the tortillas. Hmm. Things that make you go, hmm. Meat Jello. Welcome to the 40s. You guys watch Dylan Hollis? I was thinking about that when Chris had made that keto the refried beans out of bologna. I was like, "Welcome to the 40s." If he just piped it into like a clear Jello thing and just like, "Here, have a slice," just like gelatin and bologna pie, delicious. Mm. Coffee's so good that it's like every sip reminds you how much you love it. It's reassuring, comforting. It's like when everything else is going wrong with the world, there's still coffee. Like no matter how bad the world gets, I can still have a cup of coffee, and at least while I'm drinking this cup of coffee, the world's not a terrible place. I think the world's actually a pretty good place. I'm not one of those the sky is falling people. I have been accused of being toxic. I'm having toxic positivity, and that's toxic positivity. And I'm like, what's that? I had to look it up. I understand toxic masculinity. I think more negative toxic negativity is a thing that I see more often than not. Negativity spreads like a virus. It spreads like a cancer. If somebody's negative, then they're just like, and then it just spreads, and everyone's down and all bummed out. So, like, I would almost rather be toxic positive, have toxic positivity. And I mean, I understand. Like, I guess the whole thing is like you don't allow people to express their feelings or feel their emotions, and like you just be happy. No, because happy isn't even a thing all the time. Positivity doesn't have anything to do with happiness. You can still be have a positive outlook and be not happy all the time because happiness is fleeting. Happiness is a cup of coffee. Happiness is a Sunday live with your friends. Happiness is your wife coming home early on a Friday. Happiness is, a toasty blanket curled up watching a movie with your wife or whatever, right? The time out with your friends, having going out and having an hour or two with your friends or going bowling or something like that. Happiness is little chunks of life. Happiness isn't all the time. There's no way to be happy all the time. You're going to be sad about stuff. You're going to be like bummed about stuff. You're going to be angry about stuff. And those emotions are valid and they're totally acceptable and natural and healthy. You're supposed to be angry sometimes. You're supposed to be sad sometimes. But you're also supposed to allow yourself to find happiness in the small things. If you're totally bummed that you're not happy all the time, I don't think you're living the right kind of life. You don't have the right kind of outlook. Like for me, you know, would I be happier flying around the world on a private jet having billions of dollars? Probably not. Would I enjoy those things? Absolutely. But I don't think it would make me any happier with my life. Because I don't associate wealth, money, things with happiness. I associate experiences, relationships, time with people. Even if we get 10 minutes together for a year, that 10 minutes is going to be a happy time that I get to spend with you. You know, happiness is that random text you get from a friend saying, "Hey, how you doing? I miss you." You know, I think we get caught up so much on all of these things, you know? Let's see. Chris is saying, "Hey Cindy, which tortillas are we talking about? The chips are the only ones that use Mott's for recently." I think there was the carnivore potato chips you did. I think they used. I can't remember what they used. I know you did something that used Swiss, maybe if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. I don't mean to be negatively toxic, because sometimes that's how I am perceived. I mean, you can't fault someone's perception of you. I mean, you know who you are, but how other people see you is also how you are. It's one of those things. Like I'll never forget this thing that I took away from a high school psych class. And this is all about perspective. It's like, I'm not who I think I am, and I'm not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. And that hit me hard. And I think from that point on, you know, like my perception of me has a lot to do with who I think you think I am versus who I really am or who you really think I am. The same thing is you are who you are deep down inside. But you're also sometimes who you think you are, but also I am who I think you are. It's a multifaceted kind of rabbit hole, multiverse type thing. And that's okay. Yeah, I think that's the thing, is like being negative is totally fine. But if you're negative about every single thing, and that's the only thing you ever post on Facebook, then it just wears on people. It is contagious. I mean, I post negative things on Facebook sometimes, but I also try to post the positive stuff. GH in the house, thank you for joining us. How many cups of coffee do you drink in a day? Most days, just this one. Just one cup. It's about 30 ounces, but it's one cup. But again, sometimes I get up and have my cup of coffee, and then I get a phone call from work that I've got to go drive for 6 or 7 hours. So I will go and make another one and take it with me. So I'll have another cup of coffee depending if I'm going on a long drive. Because while I probably don't need the caffeine, it is nice to have something there for the drive. Because a lot of times I'm driving in silence with a couple of people in the back, and they're doing whatever they're doing on their phones, and I'm just driving in silence. So, you know. Let's see. Chris says, "I got you. Yeah, you should be able. Let's see. You should be able to. Might just take a little longer to cook with the increased water content." Purple of Unknown is out of here. Take care. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. Be safe. Keep warm. Cindy says, "Negativity bums out everyone around you. I try hard to stay positive." I'm positive to the point that I need to be, but if I have something negative, I don't hold it back either. But I also try to not be like, I try not to brag about stuff too much. I try not to be overly positive, because I try not to I know that the toxic positivity is a thing. And I know that if I'm talking to you and you're coming to me with something that's really bumming you out, me being like, just keep your chin up, it's going to be okay, is not always the best thing either. Sometimes you got to commiserate and be like, yeah, screw that jerk. You know what I mean? It's like breast friends do with each other. Yes. GH says, my husband says I must start drinking coffee because my sex drive is not as strong as his, and that if I don't raise it, he will start seeing other women. What should I do? I don't think I'm the best person for that advice. I think maybe seeing some kind of counseling may be best there. I think, I don't know if coffee is going to do that for you. I think that's something to talk about with somebody else. While I appreciate the question, I don't think I am at all qualified to answer that question. So, woo. So yeah, this week, Tuesday live, Shannon and I on Tuesday night. Getting things in order for the Keto Crusade for the 26th of this month, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. Let's see what else. Got a couple of videos in the works. Again, I have the satiety video that I want to talk about. I want to talk about satiety. And I think it's important to make the distinction between being full or overly stuffed with satiety, because there is a definite difference. I also want to talk about, I forget what the other thing was, and I can't remember what it was. And I can't dig into my notes just too quick right now for that. I think I'd have more concise notes, but I don't. I do keep record of all the things that I put together, but it's just a lot. And it's how I do it. Doesn't make sense to anybody else. So also I've got to put together the Keto Crusade stuff and update our folder, because the boys and I are looking at different streaming platforms, because currently I am using StreamYard, which is too expensive. And oh yeah, Maritza says 5 p.m. Las Vegas time. That's early. Yay, Keto Crusade! But we're looking at switching platforms. I'm not sure which one we're going to switch to. There's Restream, there's EV Mux. I need to go through and look. I know there's some YouTube videos that outline the differences, the pros, the cons. There's one that I saw that I liked because you could put like a QR code on the screen. I think that would be kind of cool. So like we could just I could have like all the QR codes for all of our different stuff. So like for me, for Victor, for Chris, and I can just intermittently put them up a little bit in each day and all that stuff. Sean's out of here. Let's see. Sean says we have to go check out of our hotel, check into the Disney Boardwalk. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. See you all soon. The Boardwalk is a glorious hotel. I love, love, love the Boardwalk. It's so cool to hang out, and it's so cool just to walk right over to Epcot. I hope you have a fantastic day. Please, please, please enjoy your time at Disney. I hope you're going to Disney, and get some cool pictures and share them with me. Share your days or your time at Disney with me, because I need Disney in my life. Truly appreciate you, Sean, for being here, and have a fantastic and safe rest of your trip, okay? But yeah. So we're going to be looking at other options for streaming services, because Chris is still utilizing the same service as me, but his is coming to a close, and he doesn't know if he's going to continue using this one. I actually like using this one, but I kind of want to check out other ones. I just want to make sure they're user friendly, they're not crazy. You know, I want to make sure that that the chat functions work well. I need to look and see which ones allow me to stream to the most places. 'Cause I'd like to be able to stream to other places, that may have, all that stuff. Here's a question that's a rabbit hole for sure. Do I believe in UFOs? I don't know what to believe. I want to believe in UFOs. I want to believe in UFOs. Do I think we're alone? There's no possible way we're alone in the universe. Is the universe too expansive for us to be visited? That's kind of what I think, maybe. But is our limited understanding of physics so rudimentary that we don't understand how that wormholes and things like that could be, or like folding timelines and stuff, you know what I mean? Could be real? Possibly. So it's one of those things like I want to believe in UFOs. It's almost like I have to kind of think that the possibility is probably more likely than unlikely. I think the idea of UFOs is probably more likely than unlikely. Um, it's becoming less crazy to talk about UFOs, but anytime you do bring up UFOs, you still kind of get that like, well, here comes the crazy guy. Especially when we've got a lot of the things coming to light these days. We've got a lot of video out there. Um, there's a lot of testimony from high-ranking military officials. Um, there's a lot of Lieutenant Fravor and a lot of like the talking about the Tic Tacs and stuff. All these different sightings that are on the different coasts near Air Force bases and stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there that it can't be easily explained away, at least with our current technology or what the military is saying. So I don't know. I would think that you would think that that's true, but I think one of the things that comes to light when it comes to that topic is the fact that we have nuclear technology and we have nuclear weapons. So I think they may be more interested in us than not, just because of the fact that we're like we're like ants with M80s. You know what I mean? Like we have dangerous toys now, so I think we may be more interesting. This season of Earth. Probably a bot, but that's okay. Time traveler Karen is here. Thank you for being here, Connecticut. Central Indiana here. Thank you for being here in Connecticut. I hope you are enjoying the stream so far. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. So anyway, I just kind of look at things. I don't discount stuff. I don't write things off right away. I mean, I think if I did, then the whole keto thing probably wouldn't be what I'm still doing now, almost 9 years later. Um, because it sounded insane when I first heard about it. we had some. I was. We had some of this the other day over for Chris's live. And we had some trolls and bots coming in towards the end. We had to get rid of them. Some of them. It was pretty gnarly. But yeah, I'm a growed up now. But I think when it comes to how crazy keto and low carb is, and it kind of also goes back to like the fake idea, the fake news or the misinformation. If you take what we've been told for the last 100 years, as most people have, I mean, even just I always talk about my great grandparents. My great grandparents came from a time where they ate whatever they made from home. Like grocery stores weren't grocery stores. I mean, they didn't have supermarkets, and they barely had refrigeration at the time. I don't know, they probably didn't even have refrigeration. My great grandfather was born in 1910, which is a crazy thing because he was born in 1910. He was the fifth of five kids, and his mother was 50 when he was born in 1910. Think about how crazy it is now in 2024 for a person to have a person at 50 years of age having a kid. It's still highly it's still not a good idea. I mean, even above mid 30s, it's not a great idea. Then the risks of things start to increase. So think about that in 1910, how crazy that would be. And like how they ate and how they started to change how they ate over the time with doctor recommendations because they trusted their doctors. Because why wouldn't they trust their doctor? Why would the doctor give them the wrong information? Why would a doctor give them the incorrect information? It's inconceivable. They're on blood pressure medication and they're on this kind of medication and they're on cholesterol medication. I remember hearing, my great grandparents talking about cholesterol medication, cholesterol. But yet they taught me how to, like, my great grandmother taught me how to cook. So I'd be over there and I would cook breakfast at her house and be making eggs and bacon and things like that, using bacon grease off the stove and cooking in cast iron. I had my own little cast iron egg pan that I cooked in. And it was pretty awesome. I cooked in cast iron as a kid. And I don't remember it sticking or anything like that. I got a couple cast iron skillets now. But I don't even know. Who knows how old that cast iron skillet was when I was a kid? I mean, I think probably 50 years old. Tiny. And it's just crazy to think like they started doing all the low fat stuff and she would strain her cottage cheese. I mean, he lived to be 95, but he had dementia. And she lived to be 87 and she was pretty, I would say, pretty with it until she went. I mean, for the most part. It's just one of those things, like just seeing how they changed their diet from when they were young until, when they passed. As my great grandmother passed in 2000. So she was born in 1912. And she was almost 88 when she passed away. She was close to 88. But just the differences. So if you take like how we ate in the early part of the in the early part of the 20th century into where we are with the 21st century, and then basically have to turn the clock back and understand how we ate before the 21st century, how we ate before the 80s, the 70s, the 60s is how we're supposed to eat. Sounds mental. What do you mean that the doctors are wrong? That's what the other video is how do we talk to our friends? How do we talk to our family? How do we talk to people who come to us with questions and not sound crazy? That's another video that I have planned because it's so easy for us to forget their perception of reality. Their doctor's telling them something. Why would they listen to us over their doctor? That sounds crazy. To the average person, that sounds insane. Why would I listen to my friend or my coworker over my doctors? Sounds crazy. What do you mean sugar is poison? What do you mean sugar is poison? That sounds crazy. What do you mean saturated fat isn't bad for us? That sounds crazy. How can we help the most people without sounding insane? I think it's probably impossible, but we have to understand and kind of come at an angle from their perception, their perspective. The things that we have come to understand as truth and fact for us is still a crazy concept to them. and we're gonna come and we're gonna say, like, you can't trust anything your doctor says. That sounds insane. That's like, I want to talk to you about flat Earth. Have you heard about hollow Earth? Crazy. And I'm not saying flat Earth is a thing or hollow Earth. I'm not by any means, no stretch of the imagination. But sounds just as crazy. You're talking about UFOs. UFOs probably are more likely to be real than not. The idea that the universe is ever expanding and it almost infinite in size, and we're the only living, breathing things in the unknown universe is also crazy. Now, have they been here? That's the less crazy thing, because we don't know. And our perception of reality and what we can see, touch, feel, and hear, or see, touch, smell, and hear, is very limited as far as our own understanding. But anyway, you know what I mean? So it's just, yeah. Time traveler Karen says, still using my great grandmother's cast iron cookware. That's fantastic. I mean, whether we are crazy or not, we want to try to come off as least amount of crazy as we can when we're trying to help those we care about. Those who come to us with questions, concerns, they're seeing what we're doing and they're seeing our success, and they come to us because they're curious. They're genuinely curious. They want to know what we're doing to make a difference in ourselves, and then we come off and sound like a babbling, crazy person. How do we mitigate that? How do we sound, and that's what I'm going to talk about in the video. Evelyn says a coworker has a tumor. Her doctor told her to eat more fiber. I told her to cut out sugar. She said not too nicely that she will do what her doctor says. And again, that makes sense. As I understand, like, you had to think from her perspective, Evelyn, why on earth would she listen to you? Why wouldn't she listen to what her doctor says? I mean, it sounds insane to listen to your coworker who isn't a doctor. I mean, we have to take that into consideration. So that's the whole point of making that video, because how do we have a conversation and not sound crazy? Because these are big concepts for people to understand. These are big concepts for people to take into consideration. Because why on earth would their doctor lie to them? We already had a pretty healthy mistrust or distrust, or whatever the word actually should be, of our pharmaceutical industry until 2020 came around, and then that changed for a while. Then you had to basically trust everything that they said. And I'm not saying that 2020 was right or wrong, or whatever they said was right or wrong, but I'm saying before that we had a big healthy distrust of the pharmaceutical industry, to then be told, well, we have to trust them without question. That's a scary thing. I understand that there was a panic going on. There was a reason for concern. There was a reason to try to take what they had to say. But it's like, how can you, if you don't trust them with everything else, how do you trust them with that? And that's a healthy distrust. And that's where, like, a lot of the misinformation comes in. That's where you find out that there's things being hidden or censored and stuff. There's a lot of that stuff, like, you have to question, and not being able to question something is terrifying. And like I said, before 2020, a majority of people didn't trust the pharmaceutical industry. Most people are on medication. I talked about this. I said, there's most people are on medications, and I got pushback. Well, I'm on medications for, like, birth control. Well, I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about. Birth control was a voluntarily taken pharmaceutical. But we look at the pharmaceutical industry with, all the things that we've had with the opioid crisis, and I'm probably going to get demonetized, but that's okay. I won't get my 30 cents from YouTube. But there's so many things that have come to light about our pharmaceutical industry. But even now, if you question it, you sound crazy. They made it to where you sound crazy for just asking questions. How do we know that something is safe? How do we know that what they're saying is true? Whether it's about opioids or vaccines or, you know, statins, whatever. How do we know what they're telling us is true? We have to trust our doctors, don't we? We're supposed to be able to trust our doctors. So that's just kind of the thing that, that we have to keep in mind, that there's so much riding on this that we have to just be mindful. We have to be genuine. We have to be caring. We have to be patient. Just like with this coworker, Evelyn, we can't just write her off because she's like, I'll just listen to my doctor, thanks. Because why wouldn't she say that? Why wouldn't she think that? That makes total sense that she's listening to her doctor and not you. From an outside perspective, why should she listen to you? There's absolutely no reason she should. So she's making in her mind, the right, clear, common sense choice. So anytime someone's trying to offer you common sense, well, it should just be common sense. Well, common sense is a consensus, and the general consensus isn't always correct. But we can't just come out and say, well, you're being stupid, listen to me. You're being crazy, listen to me. Because she has no reason to listen to you. But how we move forward in that situation is key. I don't have all the answers, but compassion, patience, understanding, slowly talk about things. I don't know how. Ask her questions. What are they saying? What are they telling you to do? Have you read this article? Have you seen this? And have you seen this? Have you seen these studies? I don't know. Trimberg Acre says, I went through that in the 90s and 80s and 90s, telling people our food was no good. People thought I was crazy, so I finally gave up. I mean, that's the thing, is like, you were doing it in a time where you still had 30, 40 years to go before people started to wake up. I mean, think about, we've gone through a thing where like processed foods are bad, but people have gone into veganism. They've gone into other things like, think like juicing seems totally normal. I'm going to do a juice cleanse and everyone's just on board. Oh, Stan is trying to get healthy. He's doing a juice cleanse. I support Stan. JJ says, my sister-in-law was diagnosed with type 1. I told her she could reverse it. Is that type 2 for reversal, or type 1 is a better management as far as diet's concerned? You can't really fix type 1. That's where your body just no longer produces any insulin. But, what she said, reverse it, or at least help it with keto. And her doctor response, no, my doctor said there's no way to fix it with diet. Now, if it's type 1, you don't fix it with diet, but you can very well manage it far better with diet. So, yeah, that's what I figured you meant, 80s and 90s. JJ said, fun fact, the same doctor as her mom who died of dementia. And even the idea that dementia is linked to diabetes, it's considered type 3 diabetes, sounds insane to people, because there's no one in the mainstream media is mentioning that. Yeah, Amy Berger has a book about that. It's being talked about in our circles. Our communities understand that, but we have to understand that in our community, we're a niche of a niche of a niche. If you take like the health and wellness, that's a niche. And you got diet and weight loss, that's a niche. And then you take keto, carnivore, and such, and that's another niche. So there's a big overarching niche where we're niched down almost to the very bottom. And I mean, you can obviously then you niche down into carnivore and then lion diet. All those things are kind of like niching down. And then, I like to think that we're just kind of like that's why I like to look at us as an overarching community. So we have more information, more tools in our toolbox, whether it's keto, carnivore, lion diet, dirty keto. I don't care if you're eating bologna and hot dogs every day with mustard. I don't care. Sugar-free ketchup. I don't care. You're doing something better than the average person. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, he did mean type 2. So he said, yeah. Yeah, he did mean type 2. Okay, yeah. So we can skip all that. Let's see. Cindy says, I get that. There are people we can bowl with that have been diagnosed with cancer, eating sugar and carbs all the time. Yeah. Maritza loves cooking with cast iron skillets. I do too. Talking about not the inability to reverse type 1. I meant type 2. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I wish we could edit comments in chat. That would be a nice thing to do too. So the downside is the way that the streaming services work. Even if you delete a comment from YouTube, I still see it in my streaming service. So it doesn't edit from here because this is pulling in stuff from multiple locations. YouTube is so particular with what is said in my live. My son was not monetized to the topic and had to review it. Nothing changed. So they didn't even reverse. That's crazy. Karen says, no, I can't trust them now. The community helps keeping me from feeling crazy. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just one of those things like we know we're not crazy. I mean, some of us are. I'm a little nuts, but that's fine. Um, but and that's what I try to make sure that we are staying kind of above board because it is easy to get into that mindset that my way is the only way, my way is the best way, and nothing you say is better than I'm going to say, and I'm a moron. You know what I mean? Like, I should say I haven't even figured everything out for me, but I have found some things to be true for me: satiety, mental clarity, not needing to take allergy medicine anymore. There's just a lot of things that have, weight loss and such that have happened that I have found ways to cope and manage that I'm here to share that experience that I've had. And I try and when I first started I was very crazy in the way that I would try to talk with people. Somebody would send me a text message saying, "Hey, I want to know what you're doing. How can I get started?" And I would go balls to the wall and send them like 30 text messages, paragraphs like an angry wife, you know what I mean? Like just send them. And then they'd be like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this." Because I made it sound way too complicated. Because you can't necessarily oversimplify this because I think even if you don't mention seed oils and you don't mention, a lot of the things because if you start getting into oxalates and seed oils and stuff in the first sentence, people aren't going to take that seriously because they don't know what that is. Because there's a rabbit hole. And once you go down that rabbit hole, it's like you're never coming back. Because then you get into things like microplastics and all these things. And then you start talking about like oxalate dumping, and you can't have spinach because of oxalates, or you can't have almonds because of oxalates, or there's all these things that we get into we start niching down into this community, and there's so many things that people start talking about, like how does black mold and how does mold in your house impact you? But people just want to get started and they want to do it in the easiest way possible. And that's how I think we need to focus and understand that when these people come to us, they're in a fragile state. They're questioning what they've been told. They think you may have something interesting to tell them. And you don't want to scare them off. Because the goal of this community should always be help as many people as we can, not be so dogmatic that you have to do exactly what I do or you're not going to be successful. Now that may be true. You may have to do exactly as I do to be successful, but not likely. We've all talked with various people in our chats, and from Brian Doyle to others who have been trying new things, and they finally, it takes time for them to kind of find what works for them and what starts to move the needle. Chris and Ash have talked about that. Ash has found things that have helped her over time that she didn't know at first. But you have to give them a place to start. And if you give them too much at the beginning, they're not going to take it seriously. So that's what that video I'm in the process of putting together. I have to put it together just right. Hopefully, it's a wide-reaching video. Not just to the growth of my channel, not just for, the revenue that it might generate, but again, the focus of this community is to help as many people as we can. And if more people watch, the more people it can help. The more people that understand we've got to dial back the crazy, and there's creators out there that have created their own little communities, and inside their little community, they can kind of niche down as they want, because if somebody's signed up to be in their specific community, then it's kind of, then they have carte blanche to talk about whatever they want or be as crazy as they want. Because somebody who's going to join their community or pay to be in a group with them or pay to get their advice, then they're going to give them the advice, whatever they want to give them, because they're being paid to give it. They're asking for, they're writing a check and asking for that information. But I think for someone like me, a broad brush is going to be the biggest and most effective thing that I can do. Sitting here every Sunday, shooting the breeze with you guys, talking about my opinions, my things, talking things over with you guys. I try to look at things as broadly and as openly as I can on just about every topic. Anything you have questions about, I'll give you my opinion. I'll give you my outlook and try to provide you why I think that way. And if you have a better understanding of something than I do, then I learned something. That I don't hear this very often. The KetoSimple makes sense. I don't hear that very often, but I appreciate you, JJ. Visual Keto says, catching the replay. Good morning, my peoples. Well, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. We truly, truly, truly appreciate you. This is why we should be able to edit comments. Yes. All right, Steph, have a good one. Be safe, stay warm. Catch you later. And Chris says, we are fighting a major uphill battle, and there's so much infighting and disagreement in our own space, it makes it hard to get others to listen. 1,000%. I disappeared and was dealing with a doctor telling me to put my money where my mouth is and be strict carnivore, and I'd learned to heal my addiction. We look crazy to the rest of the world, sadly. That's the thing is, I've been doing this for 9 years, and I have yet to heal my addiction. But one of the most important things that I've learned that I wasn't truly aware of, maybe I probably knew it. There's a lot of things we know, but we don't see, if that makes sense. Let me know in the comments if you've had to learn something that you know, but you just didn't see that you knew it, right? That I had a food problem. I had a food addiction issue. I knew I had emotional eating tendencies. There's a lot of things that I knew, but I didn't see it. And it's taken me a long time to really come to terms with that and start making adjustments and start learning how to handle and deal with that. But there's a lot of things that had to change first. I had to learn what satiety is before I could ever start dealing with the quantity of food issues that I have, eating, how much food I was eating. There's a lot of things that have to come into place first. There's a lot of things that we have to learn first. We have to understand ourselves. There's so much about yourself that you may not understand. You've lived with yourself your entire life, and there's probably things that you still don't know about you. There's things I don't know about me. There's things I'm learning about myself every day. I'm 45 years old and still learning things about myself. I think if you stop learning new things about yourself, then, then I don't know what to tell you. I think, like I said, with my food addiction, sugar addiction, cravings, there was a lot I had to get out of the way first. There's a lot of things when it comes to food addiction that it's not just food addiction. There's a major component involved. There's hormonal imbalances. There's a lot of emotional baggage, emotional trauma. I'm not a big fan of the word trauma in the way that it's used today. I think there's a lot of things that aren't trauma that we diagnose as trauma. I'm dealing with yesterday's trauma. Well, you were late to work. That's not trauma. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things I think that we label as trauma that really truly isn't. But I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist or anything like that. I'm just a dum-dum here on the internet talking about my experiences. But I think there's a lot of things that we have to wade through personally as we make our own journeys. We start for the reasons we start. I started for weight loss. And then I found a lot of things about myself, and there's a lot of things I still have to work on. There's still things that I'm battling today. Sugar addiction, food addiction. Those things aren't easy to overcome. But we have to continually work at them. And I am always working on them, and that's a day-to-day challenge. Valerie is here. Thank you so much for being here, Valerie. We had cast iron skillets when I was growing up. Really been thinking about going back to them recently. I think that's always a positive because realistically, as much money as we've spent on skillets and cooking and all that stuff over the years, cast iron is the way to go. They last forever. They're not that bad to take care of. I have some good ones that are nice and smooth and nice, slick, seasoned ones. And I mean, sometimes you just get a little bit of soap and water, and I got like one of those little like chainmail scrub pads, and I scrub it down real good, dry it off real well, put a little thin layer of some tallow on it, crank the oven to 500, get the oven to 500. As the oven's getting to 500, put the skillet in. As soon as it hits 500, hit off and just let it cool overnight, and it's good again. You're fine. It's not hard to take care of cast iron. If it gets rusty, then then you got to like really work and kind of work at it. But you know what I mean? It's not that hard. It's heavy. You got to work up the muscles. Because even sometimes I'm like lifting one, I'm like, oh, my wrist is like, Karen says, being nuts or crazy keeps me sane. 1000%. Chris says, this is why I wrote my book, helping to help people understand that this says one concise concept. It's hard to get people to understand this. And yes, Chris has a fantastic little mini book that's free. You just need to sign up, give me your email address. Maybe one of my fine people will put that link into the chat here. So all of you guys can go ahead and get that taken care of. And Cindy, thank you so much, dear. $10. Got to get stuff done. Have a great day, and everyone, love you all. We'll love you too, Cindy. Thank you so much for $10. Truly, truly appreciate you very much. Everybody's saying goodbye to Cindy. JJ says, got to get some school stuff done for the week. See you later. Bye, JJ. Thank you for being here. Oh, let's see. Evelyn says, okay, here's something deep. Not everyone who is abused feels as if they have been abused. My brothers got beaten, same as me, but I view it abuse. My brothers did not. I think there's a lot about that. I think especially being a kid of the 80s, there was a lot of things that my brother and I went through. My mom had her own issues. She was dealing with her own demons. I mean, I can't like most people, she probably wasn't ready to have 2 kids. But she had my brother and I, and she took care of us basically by herself. My grandma was around to help some. But my mom had a lot of troubles, and she passed some of that on to my brother and I. She had anger issues, she had self-control issues, food issues, food addiction issues. My brother and I probably got a lot of that from her because a lot of her coping skills and her love was through food. She was always afraid that she wasn't going to be able to feed us enough. We were pretty poor when I was growing up. So she made sure that food was the number one way she showed love because she was afraid that we wouldn't get enough food. So those food addiction issues come from a good place, not necessarily the right place, but she did the best she could. And so now I am left figuring that out, and that's fine. I don't hold her necessarily, I don't blame her. She did the best she could. There's a lot of things that she did that I'm sure she wished she didn't. There's a lot of things that I wish I could tell her about being a teenager. A lot of things that I wish I could tell her from dealing with kids and grandkids and stuff that I wish I could tell her how I'm sorry. There's a lot of things I wish we could talk about. Because as we get older, we realize how dumb we were before. So no matter how smart we think we are, we still have so much to learn. And as we learn that, we have to reconcile with the dumb things we did when we thought we were so smart. I just think that's again kind of comes back to the whole crazy thing. Like, no matter how well intentioned we may be, no matter how well formulated our arguments, no matter well spoken or well versed our arguments are, they're going to sound insane to certain people. So, yeah. So here's the link for Chris Cook in Nashville. ChrisCookInNashville.com/free book. I don't know. Is that supposed to have 3 E's? I think it'll work. Just go to ChrisCookInNashville.com and I imagine you will find that in there as well. And Chris said, see, I can do other things and accidentally time out people. That was so much fun. It was hilarious. Once we found out that she thought it was funny too, it was a lot better because I was worried she's going to get upset because she didn't know what was going on. I think we did that on purpose or whatever. Look who's back. Hungry's back. Oh, free ebook. I think it's better as a free book. It's free book. It's like free bird. Yes. See, I'm a moron. I looked at him like, is there too many E's in that? Oh my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Free bird. Yes. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, James. Chapters await. Bye. Oh my goodness. There's a guy who makes like short form content that I like. He wears like this little hat and he's always talking about like random things, like random facts, talking about like different musicians from the 80s, 90s, talking about like he had one video where he was talking about like this soon to be super famous rock star frontman went on, left his home, small town home, and went to New York. And the first thing he heard when he got off the bus was a homeless crazy man saying, "Welcome to the jungle, baby. You're gonna die." I was like, I wonder if that's Axl Rose. It was Axl Rose. He's from Indiana. Yeah. He says, got my chores done for the meeting that is about to happen in less than an hour, and I thought I would grace y'all with my presents. I like presents. What'd you get me? Is it a work meeting on a Sunday? Boo. Oh yeah. I love Sundays. So much fun with you guys. I have a great time. We laugh. We have a good time. We share emotional things. We unpack things like presents. New people come in. We get to have new friends. It's always a good time. I get a chance to stay as long as I want or as short as I want. It's kind of like work, but health related. Oh, okay. That sounds fun. You know, Dustin may or may not have on pants. It's a good time. I am currently wearing pants. It is too cold to not be wearing pants. I mean, they're pajama pants. I'm wearing jammies and a hoodie because it's cold. All will be clear at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, yes, it's always fun to find new trolls. You want new trolls, old bridges, whatever. I was talking with that friend of mine that reached out to me, and I put her stuff in the community tab. So, again, if you guys would go over and subscribe to her channel, I greatly appreciate that. But she was talking to me, and I was like, how's your ASMR voice? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, I went back to some of my older shorts and I was like, my biggest short, I'm like, welcome back. In this video, we're gonna be blah 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 blah. And I was like, what is wrong with me? I'm like, welcome back. We're making this and we're doing this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, that is, I mean, it's me, but like, it's like, and now the smooth sounds of elevator jazz. You know what I mean? Like, you know? Yes, Heath, I'm Porky Pigging it. Like, was it Porky Pig? Who else doesn't wear pants? Like Yogi the Bear. Hey, hey, boo boo. Let's go get us a picnic basket. Don't tell me a lot of your old shorts are from when you were in high school, Heath. Elastic is all given out. Oh, yeah. Why aren't you wearing pants? Who needs to wear pants? You don't need to wear pants. Just wear a t-shirt, it's fine. No one will ever kick you out or call the police. Learn Keto by ASMR with Dustin. Yeah. Now that would be hilarious, seeing Donald Duck with an ASMR channel. Becky says, I'm procrastinating. There was so much housework to do, laundry, cleaning, meal prep. Meal prep is easy. Be in the oven at 280 for 2 hours. I meal prep last night, but I made 4 steaks. I have some cheeseburger soup that I made that I'm gonna give to my brother today. Cause yeah, if I decide to leave the house today, I'll take it to him. But I still have his Christmas money. But yeah, my procrastinating is like my middle name for real. Chris says I love cooking, hate meal prepping. How does it even make sense? Well, meal prepping to me, like it's like you're making a whole bunch of meals. I don't want to eat that stuff every day. I mean, meal prepping to me is like making like a big container of like cheddar broccoli soup. No, and then I'm gonna eat like cheddar broccoli soup for like 3 or 4 days, and I'm okay with that because that's like one of those things. Like when I make it, I'm excited for it. Pork ribs in the sous vide today. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy. Remember, folks, you can pick your nose, you can prick your friends, but you please don't wipe your friends on what? Yeah. I was like, wait, what? Oh my goodness. What's in my cheeseburger soup? I took 2.5 pounds of burger, browned it, Added a little bit of water. I could have used like broth, but I didn't. I just put a little bit of water in there. I only had a tiny amount of like sodium citrate left, and then cheese, and then like salt, garlic, some minced, like dried minced onion, and like some steak seasonings and stuff. So it was really simple. Just added enough cheese to where it was thick. So it was basically just cheese and like liquid, like basically like cheese soup with meat in it. I mean, like you could garnish it with like some unsweetened dill relish. That would probably be good because basically it's like, like White Castle soup. Thick. Heath, we like it thick with 4 C's, yeah. Yeah, the smooth sounds of Hungry Heath. Twin Brook says, I've been thinking about joining the procrastinators support group. I'll probably do it tomorrow. Yeah. Lisa says, sorry, I've been quiet. Got the bug to make some brown butter bites and take out some ingredients for dinner tonight. Well, that's okay. Slow down, Turbo. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh my goodness. Start sending random text messages, like random voice messages on text, like, hey big fella, how you doing? Yeah. Oh. Chris, thick. Sexy Dustin's back. Guess who's back? Oh, I love it. He says, I promise I have not been drinking. I've had coffee. And my cherry chill salty electrolytes. They don't taste that great back to back, but I'm thirsty. So I think I'm just about out of coffee. I am out of coffee. So with that, I want to say thank you all so very much for being here with me. It's been such a pleasure to spend this time with you, and I just want you to know how grateful I am for you to spend this time with me and sharing your early Sundays with me. Hopefully you're dressed warm and snuggled under a blanket with a nice hot cup of coffee with those that you care and love the most. I am not right in the head, but that's okay. But I just want to say, I love all of you. Have an amazing day. Thank you for spending your Sunday with me. Be on the lookout. I will be creating the live for Tuesday, most likely, and I will be putting up the live shortly. As soon as I come up with all the information, Chris is going to be sending me the new thumbnail, and so be on the lookout for all of that. I love all your faces. Thank you for our new member. Thank you to Barbara for becoming a new member. Thank you, Cindy, for the $10 super chat. Anything and everything you do to help support this channel is greatly appreciated. From hitting the thumbs up, the super chats, becoming a member, sharing the videos, telling your friends, being here, hanging out with me, all makes a huge difference to me in my personal life. Personally, you mean the world to me. Truly hope you understand that. I love all of you. Thank you so much. And here's my outro. Have a good